DFW. Are you ready for a new vibe? It's Posh. Beyond the screen, let's find a real connection. Every stage of life is a new direction. I'm the queen of the hustle, the girl with the heart. Let's open the door. This is just the start. Powerful, original, strong, healthy. Welcome to Posh Talks.
Guys, welcome so much to the Posh Talks podcast. Is that the name? Yes, I think that's the name. Guys, I am so excited because here we are again in this new chapter. Not only just a new podcast, but new things, new people, new vibe. I'm just excited. One of the things that I've learned in life is that there are stages. There's stages in life. There's seasons in life. Some stay longer than others, but each one of them brings something beautiful and wonderful. And this stage right now that we're in, I am here for it. And I am happy, and I am more than happy, excited, and blessed to have these wonderful people with us. So once again, welcome to the Posh Talks podcast. I hope you're ready for this. I really hope you guys are ready for everything that is coming. And this is just the beginning. It's such an honor. I am honored to welcome these people that you're about to, which you already know. These people are people that you already know. You know exactly who they are. But it is my honor to introduce them to you in our first podcast. We have the Love and Hustle couple with us, and I just can't wait for you guys to hear more about them. So welcome Carlos and welcome Noahmi, and
Thank you.
Of course we'll talk about, this is our wonderful Eva right here. We are a team. We're here working, and I'm excited for you guys to know more about these very, very, very special and very key people, of the things that we're doing right now. So welcome, Carlos.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Noahmi.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Great introduction. Wow.
Was that a good introduction?
That was awesome.
This is the thing. I don't
I'm like,
practice.
is that us?
One of the things that I think about podcasts is they need to be natural.
Yeah.
They need to be flowy. You need to just be you, talk to, it's one of the tools that we can use to connect with people. I know many people use sometimes social media for views. In my case, I use it more for connection. It's not about how many views, but it's who sees you and who you connect with. So I'm excited to have each one of you. Like I said, we have Carlos, we have wonderful Noahmi and Eva, and we're going to take time on this podcast. This podcast is 60 minutes, so please stay with us because we're going to be going through each one of us and for you guys to know, again, you already know us, but I want you guys, this is the thing about podcasts. When you have social media, you give 30 seconds of little of who you are. Podcast is to really unfold it and really get to talk and really get to know the people. And that's why we're here. So the Love and Hustle couple. Why the Love and Hustle?
Love and hustle. Wow. I think that's something that we came up with together. 27 years married. We've been working together since the beginning, since we got married. And I think it was just perfect for us, right?
I mean, we don't know how to work without each other.
That's
I mean,
right.
the
There is no
moment
other
we
way.
got married, we started working together, and that's just our norm. So this name fit us perfect.
Yeah, I think so there's a certain dynamic for business entrepreneurs, right? And certainly it's not easy to be a business owner. It's not easy to, create a business and run your own business. But then again, you add the dynamics of marriage into that. That's not easy either, right? Thankfully, we've been able to manage. I don't know how she puts up with me, but she's done it for the last 27 years. But I know there's a lot of love in it, and I know there's a lot of hustle in it. And I think Love and Hustle it was appropriate for us. I thought it was perfect. It really identified who we were and what we've done for the past 27 years in different contexts, right? And yeah, we thought it was catchy, and we're like, hey, let's create a network for couples, and we'll be doing date nights and doing trainings and doing all kinds of different stuff. But we did want to cater to that community of business owners or those that want to be in business together, because I think there's a misconception that you can't be in business with significant other, with your partner, and I think that my best friend and my best partner is my wife. And I've enjoyed the last 27 years, so we want to go ahead and inspire that to other people. It's not easy. No one ever said it would be easy, right? But we've been able to do some great things, and we're excited for what's coming up in the future.
And whatever help we can offer another couple, I mean, for them, it might be like very different to work with their spouse, while for us, it's very normal. That's our norm. Whatever help we can give to other couples, like we're here for it.
Absolutely.
That's exciting. Guys, something that as I was introduced to them, because everything we do here is natural. These guys are not just the love and hustle couple. They are our leaders. They are our mentors. This is people that really pour into our lives, not just in a professional level, but it goes beyond that. And it's really an honor, guys, to be working and walking, having this journey, walking along with you guys.
We're honored to have you.
Yes.
One of the things that you mentioned about working together, take us back a little bit about in how do you got to real estate? Because I know there's something before that. I don't know if we want to talk about it, but I think every experience that we do in our lives take us somewhere.
Absolutely.
Right? Like before me, I was a teacher, and then before teacher, people don't even know, but yeah, there was ministry. I was a youth leader, believe it or not. Then a teacher, now we're here, right? But each one of those stages in our lives have brought us here. Mm-hmm. And there are times that you're like, why did I go through that? Why did I was this a waste? I should have done it differently. But I think everything has a reason and a purpose, because there's a final destination. Sometimes I don't know what it is. I'm still trying to find it out. But take us back before the real estate. What was there before?
How far back are we going? Okay. Well, real estate, you're going on 20 years already?
I'm a little over 19 years in real estate,
so almost 20 years.
Our past life prior to real estate was ministry. I'm a PK. My father had one of the largest churches in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was born and raised there. And I was just the natural rebel. I wanted.
Se me gustaba.
Yeah, he liked the rebel in me.
I like the bad girl.
I'm a rebel.
So I just wanted more. Like, I was intended to be in church day and night. And, my father also had a radio station. So we were there. That was just our life, right? And so I saw other people, go to church, be in ministry, but also have a career outside of church. And that was something that really, I was really attracted to. And I just, back in 2006, I'm like, you know what, babe, I really think real estate is the way I'm going to go. And it was scary, because all we knew was ministry.
Yeah.
There's another podcast. There's another podcast for past.
I'm gonna jump in here real quick, because yes, we, our background is ministry, right? We were groomed that way. That's all we knew. However, Niall was the sales queen.
Oh yeah.
So when we were dating, you were already doing this. When we were dating. So Noahmi used to...
Dating, we're talking, how old were you guys?
I was 19.
You were 20.
Was I 20 already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You were 20.
Oh, yeah, I was 20 already.
Yeah.
I was 21, but yeah, I've always sold something.
Yeah.
I've always sold perfumes, jewelry. I lived in Phoenix,
so this
very
girl,
close to
I want to jump in
California.
here, because I remember we've known each other for many years, since we were very young.
So you pretty much have guys known all your lives.
Kind of, sort of. Like we were, her dad had the biggest church. Her dad had radio stations. So the most influential Spanish pastor there. My background, my parents were in music, so we would go and we would be guests, or my parents would be guests at their church and stuff like that. So we always knew who the PK were.
Were your parents pastors or
Missionaries.
musicians?
No, musicians, yeah.
So
yeah.
you come from a musicians
Musician, yeah.
and pastors. So it goes hand like hand.
Yeah, so she was, the pastor's daughter, right? But when we started dating, she would have her trunk full of brand new clothes. She'd have boxes of perfumes. This girl used to go to California. She'd go buy in Garment District. She'd go buy perfume. She'd buy gold. She'd buy all. This is back when we were dating, right? And then she had this. I remember she had this book of all the people that owed her money, right? So she would sell.
Like that
Naomi,
part.
Yeah, she would sell.
So
yeah,
you're literally a natural
she's
salesperson.
a natural salesman.
Yes.
Yeah, she sold me. That's how she got me.
That's why you're so.
Yeah, she was good at that.
I mean, I think that each person, we're born with talents and attributes, and some people are true salesperson.
Yeah, well,
I
she was
think
good
I'm
at
a good
charging.
salesperson.
She was good at charging people. So I remember they would run away from her, right? Because they owed her. Someone owed her at church. Yeah, literally.
Ahí está la hermana.
Yeah. But then from
Correct.
that, she was selling gold. She was selling perfume. She was selling clothes. And then after we got married, like she still stayed into that vibe. And then we got into candles. Like she says, I'm going to make my own candles. And so then she started making candles, right? And then she started making candles with oils, scents, and this is like way back when I think Yankee Candle just started.
Yeah.
Right? So we actually had a kiosk in the mall, and we used to sell candles, and what were they called? Essential oils.
Yes.
Essential oils. And we did that. That was a grind, and that was a hustle.
And then from there, what happened? Did you guys keep escalating, having different businesses?
I was done with, having to go after people to pay me what they owed me. So I just, I started, seeing that's when the market was pretty chaotic back in 2005, 2006. And I'm like, you know what? I think real estate is where I'm heading. And I'm very grateful that I did start that year. I actually started in 2007, January of 2007. I'm grateful I did that year because that's when shortly after everything went chaos and I didn't get used to the easy route. I actually had to hustle my way through to survive in real estate because shortly after, I know things were crazy here in Texas, but in Arizona, I'm telling you, we sold houses that were $16,000, $25,000 when the market crashed back in that day. So I was really needing to, learn and grow fast.
Yeah.
And hustle to make my money
It
there.
was a grind. It was a grind. Those years were a grind, and our background's ministry. So like my focus was we did work with urban youth. We were youth pastors, so it was building. It was doing that. But obviously, a nonprofit is a nonprofit.
Exactly.
Right, and I
it's
did that.
different. It's a different kind of. I mean,
very very different.
very different in some aspects, but some others you're still pouring into people.
Correct.
It's just a different way. I mean,
Correct.
here in this case, it's okay to make money.
Correct.
Versus in ministry, there's always that thing of like, you should be poor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But it was
Versus
that.
in real estate, now you should have money.
It was the battle. It was because, obviously we had we were a small growing family. We had needs, right? And obviously we wanted to provide a certain lifestyle for our children. So, but my mindset was just ministry. I was groomed a certain way. I couldn't think the business. I didn't, I was very intimidated also because I have no education. I've never had education, so I was intimidated by that. So I thought the only thing I could do was ministry. But she was always, she always believed in me. She saw something in me, and I think she still does today that I still don't know what it is. And she believed in me. She encouraged me. But it took some time, right? It took how many years before I got licensed?
You got licensed in 2016.
So almost 10 years later,
Yeah.
after you got licensed. And kind of watching her and seeing her, I was always plugged in. I put all the signs up, right? I did all the marketing.
I was always the one behind.
Yeah, I was always the one
The helper
behind.
thing.
Yeah, that was me. But we just learned, and I think that was really good for our marriage. at the beginning because, there was great wins. I remember every time she had a closing, it was like a family celebration, right? Hey, the kids were so excited. We're going to go eat something, get ice cream. Every single closing was a win. So we were always looking up for that next one. So, there was a time we had the girls out. We're, putting door hangers.
So did you do
doors.
a transition to ministering to real estate? You guys were doing both?
We were doing both.
You guys were doing
yes.
both?
Yep.
Awesome. I'm sure that was a little bit hard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was great because we had the radio. So the radio really helped out. And we used to have programs on the radio. I guess podcast is kind of like the radio, right? Because we did radio for many years.
Now there's podcasts. Now you talk
without
to
the
people.
camera. Now they weren't staring at us, right?
That was like the social media.
Yeah, that was the social media. And we were
Magazines and radio.
magazines, radio.
Like you had to have a magazine, newspaper,
flyers,
and now it's like
door
in a matter of
hangers.
seconds, you're on Instagram. Hey,
Yeah.
social media. That is really, that's something that I really wanted people, because I think people, see us in one stage of our lives.
Yeah.
And I really wanted people to see that there's more, like everybody has a history, everybody has a background. And then finally, life, God takes us all in one path. And that's what I want to now jump into, with Eva. Eva, it's been such a great honor, to be honest, because life, sometimes you go through things in life and people start bringing people to your life. And you're like, sometimes you meet someone for the first time and you never know. You have no idea that person is going to be someone in your life. I met you guys and I met you and I was in a whole different stage of my life. You would never imagine that God was going to bring you together with that person, right?
Yeah.
And that you were going to unite goals, visions. So when I met you at this happy hour,
I know, right?
I never thought
that we were
going to be in a microphone sitting. And you know what's more surprising? In a matter of months.
Yeah.
I know. When I
We're
saw you at the
talking like-
vision board, I was
Yes, like we're talking about October. Hey girl, I would never imagine where we are now, which is just amazing to me. But Eva, I do want people to also get to know you a little bit more and hear about you. And then I have a lot of questions for you guys that we're going to put a little bit of a pause. But I want Eva to have the time I want you to tell us why real estate? What got you here?
So I was a stay-home mom for like 10 years. And, I was always there to take care of my babies. I didn't do nothing more than just, be at home, take care of them. And once they were a little bit older, I was like, you know what? I know I can do more. And I've always wanted to be a real estate agent. Like even way before, it was this in 2012, I met an agent. And she was like, you would do great and this and that. But I was always so afraid of going for it. So I said, okay. But that stuck in my head. And then, of course, I had more kids and I stayed at home for those 10 years. But then after I said, you know what? No, I'm going to do this. And I want my own business.
Yeah.
I want to be successful, because we can do both. We can be
That's right.
parents, wife, husbands. We can do it all.
Yeah.
So
I do think that, from being a mom to a wife, moving into be a businesswoman, it takes certain level of courage.
and it's a challenge.
Because
you have to juggle,
and
with so many
especially
balls.
when you're not 20, when you already have a life and really say, you know what? I appreciate everything so far, but it's time to take it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't matter if you're married or single or even with kids and husband, finding yourself that path or taking that step to grow or courage, it takes a lot of it. It's not easy.
You said it right. Like I needed to find myself again.
That's right.
Yeah.
And kudos to you. Because I mean, again, everybody, we are the creators of our lives, right? We are, yes, there's God there, but God has already given us all the tools and everything we need to do what we got to do. But God is like, here is, right? Make a cake out of it. How are you going to make your cake?
Yeah.
Right? And we are the creators of our reality, of our opportunities. We're the ones who either hold back or continue. And I admire you a lot that you're a mom and a wife and you said,
I'm
screw
always
it.
like, hey, I need to go. I need to pick up my kids right
Yes.
whenever we meet up. I'm
So
like, hey,
taking that that step at late 30s and say, you know what, I want to be a businesswoman too. And this is just the beginning, Eva. I think there's so much just coming, and I'm very thankful again that God has brought us all together, or we brought together. I don't know, I'm just kidding. But we are here together and we're building something wonderful.
Yeah, me too.
And one of the topics that I also, in this podcast, I want to take the opportunity for you guys to meet these wonderful people, but also get to know us more. And something that I really admire you guys about you, and I think I told you that the other day, and here I go with my with my pity party, pity party. Is that how you say it?
Party.
Pity party.
Not pity party. Pity party, not pity potty, okay?
Pity party.
It is very a beautiful thing to me how, again, everybody has different paths, right? In my case, I had to, for some reason, I have to walk my paths by myself, right? Let's say single. I had relationships before, but they haven't really worked. So that means it wasn't the person to me. So it's like God in this life has, hey, Posh, your path in this life is to become your own person. Learn to choose yourself. Learn to love yourself and choose you and become strong, not because of somebody else, but because of you and me, right? Why? I don't know, but that's my path, right? I wish I would have, and it comes from a beautiful place that I wish I would have had someone next to me since a really young age. But hey, it didn't happen and it's fine. But I know it's coming one day, that person will be there. It's not the time. I don't know how long. But my point that I want to come back with you guys is that it is something such a beautiful thing that I see you guys when you share with me, that since a very young age, you guys found yourself. Now, I don't think that has been that easy.
No, it comes with its challenges.
Exactly.
Yeah, how do you deal work and personal life? How do you deal with that?
How do we
Being
deal
married
with that?
for
Go ahead.
30,
I'll let you
30
start.
years.
Well, we deal with that. I mean, honestly, when it comes down to like our marriage and our family, I know it might not be very popular with other families, but for us, it's work and family together. I mean, we have to, because even when we're on vacation, I mean, there might be times where, Carlos or myself, I have to step away and take our computers out and do what we got to do. And our family understands that. We understand that. We're not there, Carlos, you haven't given me attention, or Noahmi, why are you always working? You haven't attended to me, or you haven't, so that, because we understand that we need to work in order to be where we're at. So again, I stated it might not be very popular with other families, what I just said, but that's how we incorporate business and marriage.
Yeah, I think, and that started at a very young age. So like for us, obviously our responsibilities and knowing our responsibilities as parents, but also like being leaders in ministry, you can't lead others and help them if you can't lead your own home, right? Your home is important.
Yes.
So us understanding the balance of that, I think for us with the girls very young, we were very communicative to let them know, hey, this is why we get to do this. This is why we have this house. This is why, right? Our business is not just for us, it's for them. 2 of my daughters are real estate agents as well, right? So I think the language of legacy was always in us without us even saying the word legacy. It was knowing that we were building with the purpose, the why, right? We were building with a purpose. Everything that we did, every decision that we made was very important for us for what we were trying to build. We didn't have the full picture back then. We didn't know exactly what it was. All we knew that there was no plan B. There was no other option. It's we make this happen. There is no plan B, and we keep pushing. And we understood, thankfully, we had the right people in front of us that helped us understand that although it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be easy. And we saw that, right? It wasn't easy, but we knew that together we were better, right? Together. And we always put that, we're better together, right? Together we were better. We can do more. But I think teaching the girls from a small age and letting them see that hey, mom's on the phone right now, she's doing this, but this is why, right?
Yeah. And how do you handle
Understanding
when
each other, right?
Yes.
how do you handle when there's disagreement between you guys? Because again,
She
we're
always wins.
talking about a 30-year-old, we're
wins.
talking about 30 years of marriage, right?
27 years.
27, almost there. We're almost there, right? I mean,
Don't make me feel older, okay?
I mean, we're talking about, I see it a lot of marriages, relationships, you know, by the 10-year, 20-year, you know, things start fading away,
Crumbling down.
crumbling down. And when you're in business, it can be even harder to work together. They always say that there's one that is the flower and one is the gardener,
Yeah.
right? And I think that can be, sometimes I see it a lot. Again, yes, I'm single. I've been in relationships. Yeah, I get it. Maybe I'm not the best person to talk about it, but I see it, you know? We could be like, Posh, you're not married. So I can still talk about it. So my point is like, and I think that's the beauty of it. And I think when people say, oh, you're being married that long, because everybody deals with a lot of these issues, right? Working with your partner, who's gonna shine, who doesn't, because there's a lot of male ego and there's a lot of female ego sometimes involved. And like, let me be, don't let me be. How I'm gonna let you be? How are we gonna do this together without having to be the power struggle or the ego struggle? So enlighten us.
I think the number one thing here that has worked for us is putting egos aside, pride aside. I mean, pride is, the killer of
Yes.
so many things in marriage, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to give you one example of something that really touched me. I was like, oh, Lord, Carlos, you are incredible.
Hear this.
Shortly after we moved to Dallas, and I got our first top producer an acknowledgement, my email, and Carlos was there on social media posting and just boasting about how awesome I was and just all of this. And then, during the day, like I would say it was almost evening when I saw his email. I'm like, babe, you got it also. Like, you got the top producer also. Why didn't you tell me? And he's like, because it was your day. We were celebrating you.
Aww.
And so I'm like, no, like, I'm not going to let that happen. So what I'm saying is he was okay giving me my time and my shine. And it's him putting himself aside for me. And that really says a lot about you, babe.
That's amazing.
And
I did that.
you did that.
Such a sweet thing. That's the kind of husband I need. I think I'm a flower. I need a gardener.
But you know what? It's not always that way. In the sense where it's like we kind of rotate.
Of course.
Yes.
Sometimes, so you're telling me that sometimes you're the flower, sometimes he's the flower. Are you the gardener sometimes, and then or I mean,
think sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
You meet in the middle.
Yeah, I think, okay, so my version of how I see this was she was, how do I say it without getting emotional about it?
Oh, we're gonna get emotional
Yeah.
here.
I think she loved me when she didn't have a reason to love me, when I had nothing.
Carlos.
And
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing. And then I knew that my job and my role was to love her, was to take care of her. Like, I'm her biggest fan. I've always been that way. I've always put her first. I think that through the years, as we matured, and yes, we went through really hard seasons together, right? Yes. Fighting through. Pride was one thing that I knew that I could not let be a part of our marriage. And I knew that one way or another, we had to figure it out. Like, there was no leaving, there was no option. I just knew that we had to stick it out. I think that through our, I was very young, right? I was 20, we got married at 20 years old. I didn't have a, background. You know, I was a roadie. I was on the road. I was a drummer. I traveled all over the United States, Mexico, Central America. So I didn't have a sense of guidance. She was my light. She was my guide. She poured into me. She helped me. She educated me. And it took her a long time, right? Like many, many, many years. But I think that it was being able to celebrate her wins. You know, we win together, right? Like everything she did was a reflection of who I was. Whatever I do is a reflection of who she is. So I think throughout the years, my job was to make sure that she could shine. And I think that I wanted my girls to see that. That's the kind of man I want for my girls, right? Someone that's going to put them first.
That's the kind of man I want. What are you talking about? We want. That's so sweet.
So there has been a transition. When we got married, I was like this lion and this just. And he was
So you're telling me you were like that?
Oh yeah.
I was like this, and we had to kind of.
And I was like, oh,
No,
you you know, I believe he had to, you know, he understood he had to step it up in the sense like get stronger. And I understood I had to lessen it.
I was very insecure. She was very secure of who she was and what she wanted. I was very insecure because I was out of my house at 14 years old. Like I didn't have a stable upbringing. So she was very secure. She was my rock. I mean, she's still my rock. But at that time it was like, okay, I'm going to trust her. Like, okay, I'm going to trust what she's saying because I didn't know. Like all I knew is I had a heart that can love, and that's all I had. I didn't have nothing else. And I knew that I can learn. But I also learned, like, I think being in leadership, I mean, her brother was an inspiration to me, you know, growing up and then leading very young, being in front of people. We knew there was a responsibility to do what's right. Like we knew that we were in front of people. So we had to figure it out because we generally love the people that we were serving. So it would be unjust for me to be preaching one thing and saying one thing when I was living something different at home.
Yeah.
So that was part of our, you know, we knew that was part of our foundation and the reason why we knew, hey, we got to make things happen.
Exactly. And I knew that it was in my best interest for my husband to be the head of our home. And he also knew it was in his best interest to have a strong wife.
Yeah.
So I always say he lets me be strong, but I also know my place as a wife and his place as a head of the home.
And I think you hit it just on the nail.
Yeah.
Because I think even not married right now, but encountering dating or relationships, that's one of the, I think, biggest problems that we have nowadays on relationships and then marriages, right? Letting the man be the head of the household. But yet, as a woman, them letting you be your own self. And especially like we women in business, we're not just your typical woman. And I'm not saying that, you know, like I don't want this to sound wrong, but it has a very different mindset. I'm not saying one or the other one's wrong. I'm just saying it's very different, the mindset of a woman, staying home mom, right? The kind of things they deal with are different to the things that a businesswoman and a mom and a wife have to deal with. So without that together, I think sometimes it's very, I think that's, you guys nail it right. You nail it right there. Like having a man that is the house of the household, but yet lets you be strong woman. And I think that's why sometimes we see a lot of people crumbling because it's so hard to find that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like, to empower my wife, like you have to be secure of who you are. Like I know who I am. And thankfully she's a big part of that. Right. But being able to humble myself. And I think that very young, that kind of helped me out just to know that I didn't know it all. Like I was going to trust her. She was very communicative. Like she was very communicative. Right. But it was still me. I had to listen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? I had to listen. I had to say, okay. And then process, men process different. You ladies can come to a decision quickly. You guys know what you want. You guys can decide quickly. A man processes different. I need 3 days. I need to think about it.
So you're really telling me you guys need that much time to process?
We're just very different.
Because sometimes this is my thing, is like, I already know what I need, what I want, and that person taking time to process, and then kind of pull back and take time to think about it. Why?
Yeah, I mean, it's very different. Obviously, you have different personalities, right? I can only speak to my personality. There's men that are A-type and different types, and
Yes.
maybe they're a little bit more. But then that also comes with other things as well, right?
course.
So I think for me, and I can only speak for me, I think it was I needed time to be able to think about things. Like I was a thinker. I was like, okay, let me process what you're saying, and then I'd come and I'd come with a different attitude, right? So I think there was just a lot of balance of that, and then just a lot of sex. That was
That was
very important because that really helped us. And
Yes.
I think the intimate part and the sexual part is very important also in the dynamic, because your inner person and your outer person they got to be aligned. And I think like for us, it was, I still date her. I still open the door for her. I still do everything that I did when I was 20 years old. And I also do it with intention to example that also for my girls, and they have those expectations as well. But yeah, that's kind of like our
And by
dynamic.
no means, guys, are we perfect?
Oh.
We're learning daily still.
Girl.
And because we, through the years, we grew up with each other, right? So it's like we were kids when we got married. And as we get older, we encounter and we change.
Yeah.
Especially us women, that we go through things. Men also go through things. So that's why it's so important that the couple is intentional about staying in communication, dating, and still being just still knowing each other through the years, because we do change.
Yeah.
And
But we also like educated ourselves. We also
Yes.
went to conferences. We also, had times when people spoke into us as couples. We were on the verge of hard seasons where like we actually contemplated that, hey, we need some help. We need someone to intervene here. But part of that was that also, like, although we were leaders and yes, we were pouring into others, but we were also sitting down as receiving counsel, going to conferences.
And that was going to be in my inappropriate question X. Was there a time that you say, ooh, can we do this?
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
There were
absolutely.
times that you were like, I
lot
don't
of
know if
times.
we can get through this.
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if we'd say no, then we'd be
Yeah,
fine.
no, a lot of times, more than you would think. But it's part of the process. Like those are unavoidable things. Your actions as a wife and as a husband, they don't just affect you. A lot of people think about what they're going through, but the ripple effect that happens when you do come to those decisions, those are things that you can't change. And then they're unpredictable. So you don't know how it'll affect your daughter, your son, that other person. So I think knowing those things and knowing how important our decision was. I mean, if we going back to like the real estate stuff, our transition to the new brokerage was part of that. It took 18 months because I knew our decision affected a lot of people. And I think I learned that as a husband, as a father when we were young. But it was having the right people. It was having mentors. It was knowing who we were. It was knowing what we wanted, right? And then just working together. But yeah, that was many times.
And being humble enough to say, I don't know it all.
Yeah.
And even till this day, we don't know it all.
So you're telling me after 27 years of marriage, you're still learning?
Still
course.
learning, still growing, still encountering new seasons.
I'm going to still learn the
always
new
learn.
Carlos.
We
that
always-
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Carlos with a K now. So
You're always learning.
You're always learning.
always
Yes.
learning.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because we do change. I certainly have changed
Yeah.
from who I was before.
Well, because that's the thing. You met when you were 20. Now you're late 40s. I mean, you change as a person
Yeah.
throughout that time.
Understanding of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to.
Yeah, I mean, it takes two. This is not a one-sided thing. Like it certainly wouldn't be what it would be if it was just me or if it was just her. It has to be. It's the tango dance, right? Both of you have to do that, and that's what finding that right partner is both of us together, right? There's times where Noahmi had to humble herself. There's times when I had to humble myself for the greater good. Not for the immediate good of what we're seeing or what we're going through right now or what we feel or what we personally want. It was more about the greater good of what we were trying to build and what we wanted. So I think that that's kind of like where, through the different times, we had the different seasons. There was times, she's probably more of the time, she was the rock. She was the superwoman, right? I went through a really hard depression when we moved here to Texas, right? Really hard season. I was suicidal, believe it or not, like being on the other side of leadership and helping so many people.
Of course, there's
I went through my season here, and it was very scary. I never in my life, with all the things I ever went through, did I ever feel what I felt. And she was my rock in that season. Yeah. She was the one that believed in me. She's the one that encouraged me. She's the one that was there because I literally had not one person here.
Yeah.
And so there's those different seasons in your life where, there's a times when I'm going to be there and I'm going to pour into her. And she's been going through a medical thing with a trigeminal neuralgia, which is a horrific nerve damage and pain that she was going through. And probably a year of that before it got controlled, it was hell. Like it was a very scary season, just the thought of not having her, and they call it that the suicide disease. And it was a very, very bad season. But, to be able to be there with her and to be her rock and to encourage her and to push, and that's what marriage is. Marriage is give and take. It really is. It's the love part of it is important. The hustle part of it's important as well. And the hustle part is the actionable steps. It's the uncomfortable. Everybody wants the comfortable. You don't get to success with the comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's the uncomfortable things in life that get you to the places that you want to be.
Yeah.
And that's what the hustle part of it is. It's the mundane. It's the not fun, the not sexy, the not bright. It's the rudiment of the continuation of doing something over and over and over and over. We learn how to forgive over and over and over. We learn how to say sorry over and over and over. We learn how to put our pride aside over and over and over and over. And we still have to continue, because if that doesn't continue, then this doesn't continue. 27 years in, I still have to say sorry. I just had to say sorry 2 days ago.
Really? True story. Gosh.
Yeah. So it has to continue. No matter where you are in your marriage, if you're in the beginning of your marriage, if you're in, 30 years in or 40 years in, it's like breathing. You can't
so
stop
hard.
breathing.
Like actually, like the ways you talk about it, it seems so nice, but it's so much harder said. I mean, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Like really having that consistency, or that put that ego to the side, the pride to the side,
Correct.
and really be so and just that vulnerable with that person.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah. No, it's
not.
easy.
It's really hard. Eva, I know you're married as well, right? So you had a transition from real estate from being a mom to be a wife into real estate. How was that transition?
I mean, it hasn't been easy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Just linking to what they're talking about.
Hard. Yes. You have to really, support your partner to be able to do what because like I said, I mean, not that I lost myself being a stay-home mom, but I wanted to find myself again.
Yeah.
And it's not saying it in a bad way, because, I'm married or I have kids, my life is over. No, I love my family, but it is tough, with the partner seeing you just stay at home, taking care of the kids, cook, clean, whatever, and then just transition from that to, now you're working.
Yeah.
Now you're, in the computer at 12 a.m., still,
That's actually learning
negotiate.
for him as well.
Yeah, it has been tough.
Eva.
And I
it
think
has been
the
tough.
elements are the same ones. It's just they're being a couple for so long and working together for so long. But I think the same elements that we're talking about the ego, the comes in place, even if you're starting 2 years ago real estate or being less? How long? Like
2 years.
like
March.
in marriage,
Yeah.
your marriage is like 10 years.
We've been together for 12 and married 10.
So even though 27, 12, I think it's the same essence.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'll add to this. I think it comes down to perspective, because I think this is where, you know, a lot of men that are working out there and grinding and are the breadwinners, they don't understand how important that stay-at-home mom is. Like, they're not doing it alone, because if they don't have that, they can't be out there, especially if you have kids, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're a father and you have kids, and you know, the stay-at-home mom that's there, she's your partner. She's your business partner. She's the one that's allowing you to go out there and do what you do as she takes care of the home. So it comes down to perspective. The perspective would be, if now she jumps into real estate or whatever profession, the perspective is just, it's the same. We're still both working to achieve one goal, is to better our household, right?
Yes.
The problem is that the mindset doesn't shift to that. Now you become my competition. Now you become, I can't lean on you, like all of those, you know, different things. But I think that when someone's making that transition, it's really like talking about it. It's really about sitting down and say, okay, look, our schedule is going to change. Like, how do we work this out? Like, yes, I want to help out more. If I'm successful at real estate, think about what we can do for the family, right? Think of, you know, I think that was Noahmi always, like, she always wanted me to get in, you know, and I was like, no, right? I was very intimidated by it. And obviously the fear of failure also, and a bunch of other things. But I think in her mindset, it was like, man, if we're both doing real estate, if we're both closing deals, look at what it does for the family. And that's kind of like the perspective that a man should have.
Yes.
When his wife wants to step in to say, hey, you know what, I've been doing this for some time. The kids, you know, they can make their own cereal, they can do whatever. And I think that we can be more beneficial. But I think where it gets lost is it gets lost in the communication and in the communication of how that is set up. So wherever you are, whoever you're watching this, or you're driving to your next appointment and you're hearing this, you know, I would sit down with your partner and go do a date night, just you and that partner, and just say, hey, like, you know, we're at a tough crossroads right now, and I don't want to make a decision that's going to be detrimental to my family or to us. How do we make this work? Because it can definitely not work like this. And I want to help you in an area, as you need me to help you in an area as well. How do we make this happen for the benefit of our family? If our family isn't first, then okay, then what are we doing, right? But if our family is first and our future of our children, then how do we sit down and make this happen together? And that's different for everyone. Because you can have that other person say, okay, well, let's do it, right? Then you can have the other person be like, okay, whatever, to throw you off, right? That could be, hey, in 6 months, in 3 months, in a year from now. But whatever agreements you make, you stick with that. Whatever you say, you do. And that does a couple different things. What it does, it empowers you as a couple, but it also teaches your children how important they are.
Yeah.
Because your decision does affect them.
Oh, yeah.
And showing that and coming just from a different perspective will help shed some light, you know, and hopefully this helps, you know, someone out there.
It's really given us insight. Did you have to have those conversations? I mean, you can share only what you want.
Yeah, I mean, always, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's harder because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
They're so used to being the provider. They see it as, oh, this is just like a hobby for you.
Yeah.
This is nothing,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm here being serious about it. And I know it's harder for me because, again, I have kids. They're young, you know. I have my husband and I have, you know, just my family. And it is very hard when, you know, they tell you, oh, you know, they don't take it serious. Or maybe I see it this way, like he's not taking it serious. And I'm here like, yeah, no, but this is serious, you know, because I mean, he has seen me how stressful I get whenever you know, I'm under contract.
Real estate is stressful.
It is.
Very
It's not just it's not just a job. It's like your mind.
Yeah.
You dealing with everybody's other problems.
Yeah,
and
like I'm cooking and I'm like, you know, negotiating my laptop.
no, you can't check. You can't check. People, you don't know real estate. You don't check out. People think that we're just sipping margaritas every day.
Option period, timelines. I mean, it's
Like you said, on vacation too. I'm literally taking my on the flight. I don't know if y'all saw my story that I was like literally going through the report, you know, the inspection report, and I'm like typing it.
And these are things that they can wait. Like you can be having the most amazing time with family, but option period's about to end and you're negotiating. You can't wait.
That's right.
And
Full side.
And having the husband that probably is not in real estate
doesn't understand.
doesn't get it. It's like like don't get it.
We were in Paris. And we were negotiating a deal, and it was option period, right? We were negotiating repairs, and we are sitting almost 2 a.m. in the middle of the street in Paris.
Yes.
Naomi and I with the laptop, sitting down, trying to get the signer to sign the, you know, and agree to the, you know, to the changes, repairs. Like that's real estate. That's the reality of it. It doesn't matter where you are.
That it's probably not entrepreneur. If it's an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur man who understands that, you know, hey, you know, you things. But if you have a business that is more in the professional, you know, corporate world, but it's just employee, you know, it's going to have, I think, a really hard time to understand that, hey, yes, we're having a wonderful dinner. The kids are having a great time, but I got to take care of these right now.
Right.
It depends, though. It's just, I think it's just hard overall. Seeing your woman doing more than just being the mother.
Yeah,
and the wife.
And part of it, like I said, like I can't speak for every man, right? Every man is different of how they're brought up. I think it's really important for men to be around the right men and be around the right people.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of men that they think how they think just on their own. Mm-hmm. And they're still surviving off of something they learned 20 years ago. And if they're not always educating themselves, if they're not always around the right people, hearing the right people, they are going to process things the way they've done it always. So I certainly had the right people speaking to me to help me, because I certainly wouldn't be who I am. You know, my parents didn't have business background. I don't come from that kind of background.
Yeah.
But it was being intentional of saying, hey, I am going to be different. I'm not going to be what my family was. Whatever it is that I have to do, I'm going to do. And I think it's really important. Like sometimes your partner, they just need the right people speaking into them, and they need the help, you know, and sometimes we have to be the facilitators of that, or you women be the encouragers and the facilitators of that, you know, because sometimes with a little bit of help, us men, we can do a lot of great things.
Yeah.
This is just amazing, guys. Again, we have here someone that is single, someone that is 10 years married, someone that has been in marriage for 30 years.
27.
Posh. Let's just round it up and let's do 12.
Okay, let's round it up.
Okay.
You're like, a lot of things have happened in 3 years. No, but it's been such an honor, guys. Thank you, because I think this give us a lot of insight. And I think it's like everything. If you can handle the smaller scales, you can multiply, right? Yeah. Because the principles are the same.
Correct.
It's just like you guys as a couple, right? Having those principles in your relationship, in your family. And I think we're going to need another podcast for this.
To get to the real estate side?
Just to get into the real estate side. Because I think that, to be continued, because I do think you guys mimic or continue what you guys created within your household into us, into your team, into your people, into the people that, now I'm going to get sentimental. No, it's because I do want people to maybe hear that. I am very blessed. I'm very excited. And it's such a joy to really be working with you. And yes, I'm going to get sentimental. No, not in the podcast. Because I do think that what you guys walk us through in this, half an hour about how you handle your relationship, your household, it really moves. You guys do that, replicate that. It's the word with us, with people. And again, I think we need another podcast about this, about the mindset of helping us to
grow.
grow. And as a team, have those egos to the side, leave those, be humble. Really, the meaning of really having the desire to help someone build.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think we're in real estate, and of course, it's business. We're all looking for the growth, the expansion, the doing. I get it, but I think there are levels, right?
I think
that.
We're builders of people.
Yes.
And we've always been that. And I think I'll probably never step in front of a pulpit again, but I will always continue to build people.
Exactly.
No matter where we are.
And that is a joy, and I see it. And I'm so thankful for that. I am very thankful for each one of these individuals are here because, again, I think we're going to need another podcast, the second part, to talk about, now that we talk about how, the mindset, the relationship, what's really the foundation, how we translate that into our daily life and business and the vision and the goals and everything that we're working on and everything that is coming and the amazing things that God is doing. So I think we need another podcast for that.
They need to comment to see if they want the second part of it.
Yes, if you guys want the second part, say yes. We want to see. We want to know.
Below.
Comment below and tell us. Just to finalize, again, we do need more time, but let us know. Let us know you want the second part so we can now get into the nitty-gritty of business and how we're working together and building this. And but give us your final thoughts of what would you, I don't know, as an advice to maybe
young couples
or single women,
other marriages.
Like for her, in her case, they're younger marriage compared to yours, and me as a single woman still looking for my Prince Charming out there. My Prince Charming, where are you? I'm gonna use this podcast. Where are you? I'm waiting for you.
I would say for those couples that are working together or they're working towards getting there, with their own businesses, know your value, know your worth, know what you bring to the table. I believe that not one person can do it all.
Correct.
We have to leverage each other, our strengths, and just, again, know your value, know what you bring to the table, and work with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's spot on. Like leverage each other. I would say get in the right rooms and get around the right people. That's going to be very key. That's what certainly helped me. That's what helped us in our mindset, getting around the right people. And when you get around the right people, you begin to speak different. You begin to hear different things, and certainly get around the people that you want to be like, people that you look up to, people that you want to emulate, and that's going to help you go very far.
Awesome, Eva.
Waiting for part 2.
She's like, I'll keep it for part 2.
And that's for the single woman also. Like, get in the right rooms, get around the right people, and you're gonna find, your Prince Charming there.
And I know we're short on time, but it's really just, finding that mentor, like my husband mentioned, finding also knowing who is who in your life, your mentor, those people that you look up to, you want to be like. Second, your peers. Those are your friends, your daily living, you enjoy life with them. And then third, that person that you're also helping bring up and grow.
Correct.
So those are the 3 levels, and knowing where each person is in your life.
Yeah, That's amazing. Yeah.
So you guys have it right there. These are my mentors, my leaders, my business partners. I am excited. This is our first episode.
Yeah.
Couldn't be better than for you guys to know us. a different level, not just in our pretty pictures, but actually get to know more. And I know many of you had the opportunity to meet each one of these amazing people, but podcasts, I love them because they really help us to get to know more
this is
of
fun.
who we are. And it's fun. And I told you, those 60 minutes were going to go fast.
Very
I know, we did.
But I'm excited. So welcome once again to the Posh Talks podcast. I am excited and I'm here for it. So thank you guys so much and be ready for more.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So I did it. We got it. Yes. More coming.
DFW. Are you ready for a new vibe? It's Posh. Beyond the screen, let's find a real connection. Every stage of life is a new direction. I'm the queen of the hustle, the girl with the heart. Let's open the door. This is just the start. Powerful, original, strong, healthy.